Hello. Today we're gonna talk about meditation. Interesting. First of all, though, before I get into it, I want to say a huge thank you, as always, to all the positive feedback. I've been actually getting quite a bit of feedback, both positive and some negative stuff, which is completely okay. Everybody has the right to their opinions, but one of them really made me chuckle, and I wanted to bring this up. I had one gentleman tell me that he said, I guess I must have been talking about like getting married or something like that, and he says, "Don't do it." He says, "Don't do it," and talking about how it's, they're gonna run off and steal all your stuff, and to that, I don't want to bring too much attention to it, but to that I say, sometimes I do find it a little bit interesting that people will take their own faults, and in this case, this guy was obviously, for having the audacity to come on my channel and comment something like that on basically a complete stranger, somebody who doesn't know. He doesn't know who I am. He doesn't know my fiance. He doesn't know our personalities or our goals or any of that stuff. But for him to have the audacity to come on to my channel and say something like that very, very clearly states that he was the problem. And that's all I gotta say about it. So I'm sorry, buddy, if you were a poor boyfriend or a poor husband, I'm sorry for that. But to take your faults, your own faults, and to project them onto other people who you have absolutely no clue, who they are, what they do, what they're like, that's, I don't know, just a little bit rude. But anyways, I don't want to indulge myself in any of the negativity. I am extremely grateful because about 95% or more of the comment and feedbacks that I get from you guys has been extremely helpful, extremely useful. Constructive criticism is welcome. If you guys ever have any suggestions on, making content better, I absolutely am 100% open to hearing that. It does not hurt my feelings at all, and I do my best to try to bring the most value to you guys. And I hope you guys feel that, and I hope you guys get that vibe from me and the transparency and everything that I'm trying to do here. And yeah, I want to build a community of friends, basically, because friendship, you can't take that away. I heard Steve Harvey once say that a person can get on with their life, can be successful, without a mother or father, without a husband or wife, without a brother or sister. But a person cannot go life without a friend. And that's how valuable you guys are here. I feel like everybody has been really friendly, and I appreciate that big time. So anyways, that little ramble is done. Today I wanted to talk to you guys about meditation, about what it is. I hear a lot of people ask, how do you do it? Because like if I talk to somebody, they're like, "Hey, you ever meditate?" And they'll be like, "Well, I hear a lot of people talking about it, but I don't know what it is." Some people obviously say yes, and what I wanted to talk about is there's a lot of internet gurus that will almost deliberately talk about how much they meditate and how important meditation is, but they very carefully leave the act or the way to achieve like a meditative state, or to meditate or whatever. They will keep that a secret. They won't be very transparent or very clear about it. because this gives them a sense of superiority. I do something that makes my life much better, and I have a lot of people that don't understand how to do it. And I want to talk about how important it is and how valuable it is in life, but you know, I'm special. I can achieve this and they can't. They don't know how to meditate. They're not as good as I am, or whatever. They might not be saying that specifically, but a lot of them have that vibe. And I want to break that down. First of all, I will never, ever claim to be a master of anything or a guru of anything. I very strictly try to keep my rambles and my advice or whatever it is that I'm talking about for the day. I very carefully keep that just, you know, strictly based off of my personal experiences and the things that I have learned on my personal journey. I believe that everybody's truth is slightly different. For some people, meditation can mean one thing, and for some people, meditation can mean another thing, and all this is completely based off of your life experience and your personality and what, you know, triggers you in a positive way as a person, because we're all individuals, we are all unique. And it's kind of like our thumbprints. It'd be like me saying everybody has to have my thumbprint, and if it's not my thumbprint, it's wrong. Whereas everybody has a unique thumbprint. I hope you get my picture. So, it's very important for me to bring that out there, because there is no right way to do it and there is no wrong way to do it. And if anybody tells you that you have to do it their way or you're wrong, then you should not be listening to that person, because they're that stereotype that I just talked about, where, you know, that kind of godhead figure that they're trying to paint on themselves. So, you know, I don't know. I'm just trying to be very transparent here. So, I do meditate a lot. It's something I've been doing for a long time in my life. And for me, what meditation is actually a very complex, multi-layered sense of peace. It's complex because there are many uses for it. There's many ways to achieve a meditative state, as you might want to call it. There's many reasons to do it. There's many outcomes of it. There's many layers to it. And like I said, there is no correct layer and there is no wrong layer. There's just a bunch of layers. Some people will use meditation to quiet the mind and find some peace. On a very basic, you know, three-dimensional material level, it is a great tool or a great skill to be able to quiet the mind and find peace. Some people will use it spiritually or religiously to pray and speak with God or whoever it is that they are speaking to. And again, I really do not believe that anybody is right or wrong on who they're speaking to when they speak to somebody higher than themselves. You know, I'm a firm believer that in Jesus and God. I'm a Christian, and when I pray or sometimes when I meditate, I'm speaking to Him, asking for guidance. Some people will be speaking to the universe. Some people will be speaking to their guardian angels. Some people will be speaking to themselves. It really doesn't matter. Some people will use it spiritually to look for guidance. Some people, if you look more into like chakras and things like that. We'll meditate to connect with the abundant universal energy, or whatever you might call it. For some people it's called chi, for some people it's called source, for some people it's just called a vibration, a higher vibration of love, you know. And they use meditation to basically plug themselves into that energy so that you know, they can have the energy spiritually to take on the day, or to, you know, just feel closer and more connected with the earth and with nature and with the, you know, the source energy or whatever it is. For intuition, some people will look at it, they'll ask a question and then go into a meditative state and listen to their thoughts and the little blips of inspiration that come up and see it as like a message or an answer to that little question that they had. There's all sorts of different ways to use meditation, and I do not believe that any of those reasons are wrong. I don't believe that there's only one reason and only one way to achieve it. There's only one outcome to it. I believe that you can use a meditative state to achieve all of those things. And I do, very occasionally, very often, we'll use it to pray. We'll use it to try to, you know, connect with, you know, the energy that is abundant in this planet, to, you know, find peace and love and happiness and live in a higher vibrational state, you know, of just joy and gratitude and gratefulness. And there's all these different things that it can be used for, and I believe that they are all correct. It really just depends on what you are trying to achieve. You know, what are you looking for? You know, have you had a rough day and you want to just meditate to clear the mind, just to find some peace? Well, you can do that. There's nothing wrong with that. You know, or maybe like today, this video is a result of a meditation that I had. Today, I did not know what I wanted to talk about when I came out here and wanted to ride around. I've got lots of free time and I wanted to use it productively, but I did not know, you know, what to talk about, what can I bring that would be valuable to you guys. You know, how can I offer some value, some guidance, you know, or share my story in a way that might help other people, you know, navigate through their life. And so I meditated today on that question, you know, to seek guidance. I used it today to seek guidance. And in that meditation, you know, I would just, you know, you find this inspiration, this feeling, this sense that, you know, well, why don't I talk about meditation? Imagine that. So here I am, you know. So there's a lot of ways you can use it, and this is going to be a very wordy video, and I hope that's okay. Now, how do you meditate is you know, a question that a lot of people have. And I'm sorry to say, the answer to that is exactly the same as what it is used for. You know, it is, the answer is yes. The answer is 42. Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. The answer is 42. There are many ways to achieve a meditative state. You know, there's some like more physical motion ways. There's sitting down and breathing. But what I do want to argue is that everybody on this planet meditates, whether they know it or not. When you sleep, you're meditating. You know, when you're at work and you're working and you're getting tired and you just take a deep breath, you're meditating. Anything that is quieting you down, your mind, and bringing your focus to something like breathing or your heartbeat or just the simple processes of thought, anything that is disconnecting you from external stimulus, noise, and colors and light and things like that. Any of the five senses, you take yourself away from those senses. I believe that is achieving a meditative state. Some people will do it when they lay down getting ready for bed. They will just try to quiet the mind, and there's really not an exact answer on how to achieve it. But in my experience, for people who are beginning and want to see what it feels like to be in a meditative state and see if they can achieve it or whatever they're doing, what I typically tell people is to just pay attention to your thoughts. Don't it's funny because a lot of people will teach you in order to meditate you have to silence your mind. And well, the simple act of trying to silence your mind creates a lot of noise in your mind. And you guys can practice this if you want. Just pause the video for a second and try actively to silence your mind. And you will find that the more you try to silence your mind, the louder it gets. And that is a fallacy. It doesn't, so that's why I say it's not about that. I always tell people, don't try to silence your mind. Instead, just pay attention to the thoughts that come through. Because when we first start to sit down and try to quiet our mind or whatever, you will find that the brain is very, very active. It's very vivid. It's very colorful, and it's loud and noisy, and it's moving 1,000,000 miles an hour. There's always electrical signals bouncing around and stuff. And if trying to force yourself to stop all that creates a lot of noise, well, then the only logical answer is to just allow it. So sit down, close your eyes, and just observe your thoughts. Don't try to stop them. Don't try to judge them. Don't tell yourself, oh, I shouldn't be thinking this, or I should be thinking that instead. Or, don't try to imagine an empty space, or imagine silence, or imagine whatever it is that in your experience represents a quiet mind. Just observe the thoughts as they happen, cast no judgment on them, and let them flow. Let them flow through you. Just release them. Let them go. Don't judge them. Whether it's a good thought or a bad thought, who cares? Just observe the thought and let it go and move on to the next one. And this sense of just allowing your thoughts to come and go, and releasing that pressure and releasing that tenseness of trying to silence it, you will find that they will begin to slow down. And that's pretty much what you're trying to achieve. Now, there are other ways that you can do it. Instead of doing that, some people will listen to some peaceful music. Sometimes when I'm trying to achieve a meditative state, I will actually just focus on my breath. And yes, I do know it is hypocritical of me to say to take yourself away from your senses, but then I say that I focus on my breath because it's a feeling, it's a physical reaction, and it's focusing on senses, but it's a natural process. And sometimes if you can focus on the noise of your breath or whatever it is, you'll find that your mind will just naturally try to slow down. Now there's a lot of ways that people can do this, and it cannot always be achieved every single time, especially if you're cramped on time. If you only have 10 minutes or 20 minutes or so, you might not fully get into a meditative state. Sometimes I will sit down and immediately my body will just know exactly what I'm trying to do, and it'll just be boom, you're there, and I feel like I've reached that state immediately. Sometimes I will sit down for 30 minutes or an hour, and it'll just be noise, and it doesn't always work. You know, so if it doesn't work for you the first time, don't feel bad. You're not doing anything wrong. There's nothing wrong with you. You know, don't listen to the people that tell you that like if you don't achieve this state of being, you're unable to meditate, or it's only for certain people, or things like, none of all that's crap. All that is crap. You just do it. Just go with the flow. And I guess finally I want to talk about the outcome of it. So like we talked about like how we can get into that state. We talked about what people use it for, and now I want to talk about like the long-term outcome, and I'm going to connect it to real life applications in the 3D, as some spiritual gurus would say, the physical world that they don't take part of, even though they have a physical body and they're talking to you from that physical space. And I don't know, for some reason some people like to pretend that they live in some multi-dimensional place that, I don't know, sometimes it's confusing for me too. If you want to perform better at work, it's a good skill to be able to, control your thoughts, control your emotions, control your personality, the way you behave, and your ability to focus and things like that. So, in this world that we're all here part of, whether you like it or not, you're listening to me right now in this world, in this state of being. One practical reason or practical result of meditation is developing an ability to focus, to perform better at work, to perform better at what you're doing, to master your emotions. I've had videos in the past talking about mastering the emotions, why it's important, and things like that. Well, meditation is a good way to learn how to master that, because if you have the ability to observe your thoughts and let them pass and go, you'll develop the ability to observe your emotions and let them pass and let them go. So next time you're angry, or next time you're anxious, or whatever, you develop the skill to let it pass without having to express it outwardly, without having to yell at somebody or be involved in whatever is causing it. You have the mastery, the ability to become the alchemist, to transform that situation that's causing you anger or anxiety or depression or whatever it is. You build the ability to turn that into something beautiful, to plant the seeds, to use it as your drive and your energy to do better. In this practical, three-dimensional world, physical world, where you can touch and smell and see and feel things and all this, it's good to be able to control that, to have mastery over that, and to understand it. And that leads me to the next practical reason. Understanding. Understanding the process of our thoughts. Being able to get into a meditative state will help you understand what is causing a certain thought to be repeated over and over and over in your brain. Maybe you're in school and you had a presentation and you bombed it and you're embarrassed. And it's very, very likely that you're very emotionally attached and you think about that experience over and over again, and it can cripple you next time you have to do something publicly. If you can develop an ability to meditate and observe your thoughts and observe your emotions, you can release that anxiety and let it go, and then have the ability to go back on a stage or go back in front of your class or whatever it is that you're doing, your presentation at work. You'll have the ability to go back and do it without that anxiety, without that ball and chain holding you back. You know, and because I'm kind of rambling on for a long time, I will end one final practical reason for meditation is being able to listen to your body, listen to your body's needs, because our physical body has needs. It has needs with our fitness and our health. It has needs with our nutrition and our diet. It has needs emotionally. It has needs to survive and to be healthy and to be happy. And when you get into a meditative state, or you practice getting into a meditative state and observing your emotions and your thoughts, you'll also develop the ability to observe the very, very quiet signals that your body is telling you. Cravings. A lot of people already know this. Cravings for certain foods usually means that there's some nutritional substance or supplement or whatever that your body needs, it wants. You know, and it doesn't know how to tell you in your brain, hey, I need this. You know, it finds ways, and there's feelings and there's things like that. And you develop that communication with your body to become physically healthier and happier and emotionally stronger and more sound, and I don't know, all around better as a person, you know. And I guess I lied. There is one final thing that I find extremely important, probably the most important. I should have talked about it first, and if you made it this far in the video, you're gonna get this, and if you didn't, I apologize, but you're missing out on the most important part. I am a very firm believer that the heart communicates to you in a similar fashion to the brain. The only issue is the brain is egotistical. The brain is very loud, very noisy. I believe the heart is very pure and very true and honest. But what I thoroughly believe, and what I use meditation for and quieting the mind, is because I am a very firm believer that the heart speaks a lot softer and a lot quieter than the brain. The brain's thoughts are very loud and very overpowering and very egotistical and needy, and tied very deeply with like emotions and anxiety and joy, and there's all sorts of, you know, good and bad things that it's tied to, but it's very noisy. But I believe, let's just say spiritually, if you are seeking guidance, I believe the heart is where that connection is made, and it's a lot quieter. So if you cannot quiet your mind, you cannot hear your heart. I don't know if that makes any sense, but let's just say, like today, I wanted to know, you know, what do I talk about today, because I'm kind of out of ideas, but I have this time and I want to use it productively and help people. What can I do that would be the most valuable with the time that I have right now? And that answer came from my heart, not my brain, not my thoughts. It came from my heart. And I think if there is a connection that is made to guides or to God or to whatever it is that you believe in, I believe that communication, that conversation is done with the heart. And Like I said, I believe it's speaking to us all the time, but the mind, the brain, the conscious mind is a lot louder, and we are constantly bombarded with stimulus in our day, with our phones and social media and the news and noise and music and all these things that are constantly firing off our brain and creating a lot of noise, and it's drowning out the cries and the pleas of the heart. So I believe that is the number one most important reason to meditate, is to be able to hear your heart. If you're in a state where you're like, I just want to know myself, I want to learn who I am, I want to know where I'm going, what is my purpose, what do I do, what's the next step, you know? If you're in that state, I believe the answer is going to come from your heart and not your brain. And if your brain is very loud, you will not hear the answer. So, I don't know if that makes any sense, but yeah. This is a much longer video than normal. If you guys found this, if you made it to the end of this video and you found it to be useful and you enjoyed listening to it, first of all, like I said, I'm not a guru. I do not know what I'm talking about. I am purely speaking from my personal experience and just what has appeared to be the most true from my journey. If you guys did enjoy it though, please hit the subscribe button, like the video, and leave some constructive criticism, positive, negative, doesn't matter, as long as it serves a purpose. If you're just going to come on here to attack somebody's image or attack somebody's as a person, maybe think twice about that before you hit the enter button, because I don't know, it says a lot more about you than it does the person you're attacking. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I hope it was useful, and I will talk to you guys hopefully soon. Bye.